Hello, people of Earth. It's Amy, and today I thought I'd make a real quick video about how I figure out tension. Tension for the yarn. First, everyone say hi to Ender. Ender! Hey, baby. Even though he was fed an hour ago, he's hungry and he wants me to go feed him. So he's going to annoy us. So first, let me point you to my handy dandy little tension chart here. I use an Erlbacher Speedster, and this is the tension. Okay, this is the tension knob. So my system I use, that's better. Tension reminder, 1, 2, 3 is looser, 4, 3, 2, 1 counterclockwise is tighter. Tension equals number of clicks down from when the tension knob is flush at the top of the screw with the 1 showing. And that, of course, is on my Erlbacher Speedster. So, very, very tight, down to very, very loose. Now, I have found that pretty much all my yarn uses tension right in like this, sorry, this light is so bad. My tension is always like right here from 19.4 down to 23.4, okay? In fact, I have been exclusively on, let's see, a 2 is showing up. So 21.2 for a good couple months now. But I still test my tension regularly and make sure that I like to knit at the tightest tension I can get. Okay. So let me talk about what this means. Basically, let me go back here. This first number is the number of clicks from when this screw is from at the very, very top. So if we take this all the way to the top, oh, Ender, goodness, go. I'm going to have to lock him out. So if I take this all the way to the top, so that the 1 is in front, see, it's not at the top yet. The 1 is in front and it's at the very top of the knob. See, it's at the top of the knob and the 1 is in front. So if I count how many clicks I go down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's just put it there for now. So a 1 is in front, 20 clicks down with the 1 in front. So I would be at this tension if I was going to knit with my knob right here. So let's go to where it was, which is 21.2. All right, and I got to go put my cat out because he's a pain in the butt. Ender, scoot your butt. Go on. Out you go. Okay, sorry about that. So I happen to know this is the right tension for this yarn, but let's pretend I don't know. This yarn is Painted Tiger, and it has 463 yards per 100 grams. That is a pretty popular number, and I think it's because if you buy yarn at Wool to Die For, their platinum sock yarn also has 463 yards per 100 grams. So I think that a lot of hand-dyed people are buying that sock yarn and then dyeing it. And so that makes it easy for me because if I see 463, I'm like, woohoo, I know what tension I need to use. So if I didn't know, I would get my yarn knitting and then I would tighten this baby up. Let's tighten it a click. Let's tighten it like 2 clicks. Now watch what happens. What I'm watching is these stitches on the needles. See how they're not like dropping down? I've got a 3-pound weight on here. They should drop down immediately. Let me just fix this real quick. Okay, so as I knit, you can see they are not dropping down immediately. So this is too tight. Okay, too tight. So let's go ahead and loosen this one click. And I actually wrote this down once on my table. I highly recommend having a table that you can just jot stuff down on. If I go this way, clockwise, it's loosening. If I go this way, it's tightening. Yes, I write myself little notes. So let's loosen it up. This is very tight. So right now it's at 19.4. So let's go up to 20 clicks down with a 1 in front, 21. And let's see if that helps. And you always got to do it a few, like 5-10 rounds before you really see the results of any tension change. Let's keep going. This is still tight. Let me loosen it up a lot. Let's loosen it up 2 clicks. Is that the right way? No, that's tighter. No, that's tighter. Shoot. See, this is why I need notes on my table. Okay, that's looser. You can see how those stitches drop way down, just promptly. They just fall right down. So that's 3. Let's tighten it up 1 click. When I do my tension, I always start at a loose tension. I kind of started this thing all off wrong. I started a loose tension and I slowly, gradually tighten it up. So I tighten it up. Those stitches are still falling down back to the cylinder pretty quickly. That one not quite so quickly. Oh, no, it is not going quickly at all. And if I were to go up here, you could see that they're not falling down up back here. Watch right here. So I think this actually might need a slightly looser tension than I thought. I thought this was the right tension for this yarn because of the 463 yards, and I've been at this tension for that yardage all month. I'm going to go up 1 though. That is what I like to see. All right, so this I think is my optimal tension. So what I'm going to do, and look at this pretty yarn. Ooh, it's going to make a pretty sock. So what I'm going to do is start my little log here. Lots of people were very interested in my little log form. So this is going to be sock. Let's look at the log form, shall we? Let me go up a little and let me get my light better. Ugh. Okay. So this is my little project notebook. Have a look. Whee, it's Amy's sock book. When I first started out, I made a lot of socks that were maybe not quite super good. So let's go back to the very beginning of my sock log. The very, very beginning. I didn't actually start with number 1. I started with 11 because I knew I had made like about 10 socks, and I was just scratching stuff on notebook pieces of paper, and then I'd just get lost or thrown away. So I started at 11. So my actual total number of socks might be a little fudged, but I don't care. I'm going with it. The very first ones I made was roll top. You can see a picture of them here. Cute. My tension was, I don't know what that says. It can't be 12. It must be 22.3. 22.3? 22 does have a 3 in front. That checks out. It's probably 22.3. So, and these were knit picks, Felici. I did an E-wrap, add heel spring, and lycra. Lankle, my pre-heel, I did 38 rows. Change yarn? No. Deep heel plus 3. Change yarn? No. Foot 73 rows. That's too small. I now know that, and all of my socks from back then are a little too small. And now I know this. I needed 75 rows. I didn't change yarn. So this is how my sock log went. It was very brief. And I was pretty much, I wasn't ribbing anything. I was doing short socks all the time. keep going. Mom's sock didn't work out. Prototype test frogged. That one didn't work out. Let's flip to where I changed. Now I'm getting a little bit more detailed in my sock log. This was sock number 21. I still did a roll top. I wrote down the yarn. Oh, I still have these. They fit really pretty well. I did an E-wrap. They were a size 11. I used a 72 cylinder, and this was the tension I used. And this was my rows per inch, 12. Leg rows, pre-heel, heel, foot rows, toe, all this kind of stuff. And let's flip more. I kept just changing my log to add. I kept thinking, I need this on this log. Why don't I have this? Look, now I started doing ribbed socks. Knit Picks Felici. I did it on a 64 cylinder with a 21 tension. This was back last September. These were a size 10, which is me. Foot row 10 tension 21 too. It looks like I loosened it up once I hit the foot rows. Those stitches started rising and I had to loosen it a smidge. And then I put it back down for the toes. And why is that? Because I switched to Knit Picks Stroll. Stroll is a little bit thinner yarn and I needed a little tighter tension. Anyway, so that's the socks I were making then. Let's flip a few more months. Still in September, October. So I am doing some rib socks. Here it is October. I did a 5x1 rib on a 72 cylinder. I was using a Christmas cone, my Christmas yarn. And I did a 25 row cuff 1x1 and I put Lycra in it for the cuff, and then I took the Lycra out for the 70 leg rows, and then I added it back in for the pre-heel. Then I did a round plus 4 heel, 75 foot rows. And this kind of stuff I was doing all the time. No Lycra. So in my next iteration of my sock log, I added that as something to put in. And I was still making mistakes. I would lose my place. So I added this little check mark box, this check box. So once I was done with something, I could check it off. Because who among us doesn't love to check things off a little list? I mean, really, it's just the best thing ever. So I check it off when I put the Lycra in. I checked it off when I put my heel spring on, because I knit with my heel spring on all the time. So if my heel spring is off, that totally F's up my whole sock. Then the cuff, Lycra out, 65 leg rows, done. See, there's 2 check marks because you do 2 socks. And my later iterations, actually, I added 2 check marks for sock 1 and sock 2. So you can see like the transitions my log has gone through. The only bad part is now I only have room for 2 socks. So this log, these pages get used up pretty quickly because I only have 2 socks per page instead of 4, which would be nice. Pre-heel was 15 rows. I didn't change yarn. My heel is a round plus 3. Again, these things I always do it round and deep heel now, so I don't even give myself the option. I didn't change yarns, foot rows, blah, blah, blah. So I highly recommend making a plan. So let's make a plan for my painted tiger sock yarn. What sock am I on? My last one was 129. So this is sock number 130. I'm going to do my very favorite lately, scallop top, 3x1. I haven't changed my cylinder in forever either. 64 cylinder. What's the date today? I don't know. I'll fill that in later. I think it's the 16th, actually. 16th, Wednesday the 16th. I'm going to write in Painted Tiger. And it's like Raspberry Mocha or something. Raspberry. I'm not going to change yarns. I do need to do an E-wrap. The scallop top has an E-wrap. Heel spring on, Lycra in. Honestly, I think on my newest iteration of this, I might take these things out because now it's become second nature. I don't need to check that off anymore. Cuff, there is no cuff on a scallop top. And I don't take the Lycra out. So the leg is going to be 55 rows. I'm not going to change yarn. My pre-heel is 15 rows, round, deep, no yarn change, no yarn change. Foot rows will be 75. Ribber off, I take my ribber off on row 70, no yarn change. I think I'm going to do my toe on the back because this is a pattern yarn, and if you do it on the front of your cylinder, then you can see where the pattern breaks because the pattern is going under the foot and then wrapping around and stopping on top. If I put my toe on the back of my cylinder, then the pattern is going over the top and it doesn't break, and then it goes under the back of the bottom of the foot and it breaks there. So it's kind of nice. It's I mean, who really looks that close? But once you get more experience, then it's just a little touch that I like to do. So here's the other thing, tension. I just went to all that work, so let's definitely write down the tension, which is 22.3. The recipient is going to be me, and it's a women's size 10. Maybe it's more like a 10 and a half, but I have a 10-inch foot. So that is how I use my sock log, and that's how I figure out the tension for all the socks I do. Oh, one last thing about tension. I don't actually use this so much, but patterns. I do have a little list here for tension. I measure, so what I'm supposed to do is after I do my tension, let me just take this off and show you for reals. After I do my tension test, let's take it off, and this is when having a slotted yarn carrier is pretty handy because you can just pop your yarn out. Take it all out. Bring my yarn down through I have a little circular light I use. It's very handy. Okay, stick that right there. Take this guy off the machine. Ah! Yarn overboard. Come back. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I don't know, actually. So what I should have done, I shouldn't have taken it off quite so soon. This is going to be kind of an abbreviated, not real demo. So after I find the optimal tension, what I should have done is cranked about 50 rows. A good couple inches. I don't know if that's 50 or not, but I would crank it a bit. And sometimes I would just take a stitch and move it over so there'd be a hole, and then I would know where the tension had changed. So here's where my tension is. This is where the optimal, back here was too tight, remember? So this is like where the optimal tension was. I take a ruler, and if you have one of those handy dandy little gauge swatch plastic thingies where you just lay it over the top and you can count. So you take the ruler and you lay it over your stitches, and then you count how many stitches you have per row. So let's start here. 1, 2, someone's calling.